I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the University of Hong Kong, on behalf of my co-lecturers across Introduction to FinTech and across the entire professional certificate in FinTech from edX and the University of Hong Kong, to wish you all a very lovely holiday season and best wishes for the new year. May your 2024 be always better than your 2023.